finals. So these league finals were actually played a few weeks ago, and excuse me, played a few weeks ago, recorded, and I don't even know if the results have been published. Plunksy was organising it. He did a bit of commentary with Tyes and J-Mud, and the quarterfinals were all put up on YouTube, and then I think just no one had the time to do the rest of them, and I don't even know if anyone's announced who actually won the league. So we will be looking at that tonight. So this may be spoiler free, or potentially it could be that everyone knows the results and there's no point watching the games. But either way, I have both semi-final matches and the grand final match, and we will watch that and commentate on it, and we will pretend that we don't know who wins. So weird. Hi. This is what I put up with all the time. Anyway. Is what it is. Alright. So, that's the plan for tonight. Before we get into any of that, I have to shout out these fine folk here. Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar. They're having their 5,000 follower giveaway celebration at the moment. Pat's got a bunch of giveaways. I read the first post. It went up when I had no internet and I couldn't read it, and I haven't followed it since then. But I know there's a bunch of giveaways giving away $5,000 of stuff apparently, a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, if you're not already in the Facebook group, go and jump in there now, jpmtgbazaar.com.au, and you'll find all the posts. I think he's putting up a post every few days with different things for giveaways. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But they sponsor this, not any of this stuff, that's all out of my pocket, but the stream, the tournament series, the podcast, all the different things we do, the prize money and all the giveaways that we do is all thanks to Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar. So go and check them out. You'll see the link, it'll pop up every now and then on the bottom of the screen, jpmtgbazaar.com.au. Get on there, bid on some stuff, get some win it now lots, and tell Pat that the Beans sent you when he contacts you to organise your postage, and get in on the giveaways, because there's heaps of that going on at the moment. All right, so commentary tonight. Before we do that, we have to do the most important thing, which is, of course, the snack plate. You can just see it like hanging out in the background here. So many snacks tonight that I had to go on big plate. The truth is that all the small plates were in the wash. We, as I said, we just did a big holiday, and on the way there, we stopped in Harndorf at Utter Delights, which is one of my wife's favourite shops. It's a cheese place. And on the way back, we found Melba's Chocolate Factory in the Adelaide Hills, as well as right next door there is the Woodside Cheese Rights. Just perfect combination of chocolate and cheese. So we've got a good selection tonight. I mean, we've got a donut. You can never go wrong with a donut. But we have a buffalo, I think it's a buffalo brie, which is this one over here. There is a washed rind something, ashed washed rind. No, that's this one, Pompeii washed rind. This is the Jersey brie, and then this is a mature cheddar. And then we've got some raspberry chocolate balls and some licorice bullet things. Bit of white chocolate, bit of Cadbury dairy milk, and a donut. You can't really go wrong. Like that's pretty cool. And I'll show you. I added a little feature today, little sneaky snack plate cam for mid game. But that's a snack plate for you. It's good. I'm looking forward to getting into that. So we're going to get into some commentary. Like I said, we've got the 3 matches lined up. Just forget that you know the results if you know the results. I didn't know the result, despite the fact that I paid the person who won. I couldn't remember who actually won. Paid out all the prizes. So yeah, let's have a look at some deck lists. So we're going to see first we have The two matches we've got Insanity versus Mark Wallbang. In semi-final 1. Semi-final 2 is Darkanus versus Aragoth. And then obviously we'll have the winners of those playing in the final. So we'll kick it off with Insanity versus Mark Wallbang. And we actually have a mono-white mirror. So let's have a look at... Look at that. Buttons work. This is Insanity's mono-white. I haven't looked at the lists to see the big differences. I know Cracker and Chewy went through these a little bit on the podcast, but that was quite a few weeks ago. But we've seen mono white for ages. It's a bunch of small dudes, humans, lots of humans. They just keep printing them, except for the new sets coming out. I think it's next year, the all animals set. No humans at all. It's going to be interesting. Bunch of 1-drops, bunch of 2-drops. Of course, Salia's Lieutenant, which triggers off all your humans when it comes into play, puts counters on them all, and when you play more humans, it gets bigger. Thalia is just always good. And then topping off the curve with Adeline and Brutal Cathar. So we've seen all these cards before. We know what they do. 4 ossification, a little bit of removal for creatures and planeswalkers. Just clearing the way to keep punching in with these attackers. A couple of Aganjos, again, clears out, kills out some blockers if we need, or let them attack and then kill their attacker. And of course, Mutavault is technically a human, so works really well. Destroy Evils in the sideboard. Possibly the destroy target enchantment side coming in pretty heavy in the Explorer metagame, with a bit of fires and Leyline Binding, I've forgotten the name of them, as well as heaps of just big creatures with toughness 4 or greater, so pretty solid sideboard card. Portable Hole opposite, dealing with all the small stuff. Redain going up against the what's it called? I've played so much of it. Indomitable Creativity decks works really well. And Wedding Announcement just helps you grind against all the slow controlling decks. So that is Insanity's version. Let's have a look at Mark Wallbang's. Scroll down a bit. Slight variation on the Brave the Elements, which is the protection spell. Keeps your creatures alive or lets you get through some blockers. 3 in Mark Wallbang's versus 2 in Insanity's list. The rest of the 1-drops are the same. Coppercoat Vanguards, 2 Luminarch Aspirants, a little bit of difference, and 2 Soul Partitions. So we've got no ossifications in the main for Mark Wallbang. But 2 Luminarch Aspirants, which certainly make your creatures get big. Soul Partition, exile target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. It costs 2 more. So it's playing a similar role to Ossification. But you don't need to enchant a basic land, which can come up as a bit of a problem. Like if we look at this mana base here, we've got 14 planes. You should have plenty of basic lands, but there's actually quite a few non-basics there. And then Adeline, Brutal Cathar's, 1 less Brutal Cathar. So 22 lands seems pretty standard. So just a little bit of variation in the mains. Sideboard's quite different. 2 Lauren the Third Path, another enchantment removal. Ossification, there we go, in the sideboard. Portable Holes, Redains, Rest in Peace. Not a fan of the old Greasefang, maybe. More exiling removal. And then Wedding Announcements for grinding. G'day, Rotars. Rotars, you are Mark Wallbang, I believe. We are talking about your deck. Hello, Lucas the Wolf. No Wandering Emperor. Nah, we're playing small. We're playing humans. Just get those small humans. We want to be capping out our curve at 3 mana. So, a couple of good lists. I'll show you my secret tech. You ready? Look at that. Snack plate. Pop in. I mean, like, what else? What more does the stream need than a snack plate popping? Just so you can watch me eat even more. Alright, so we're going to watch the match between these two. No spoilers. We do have one of the players in our chat right now. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, if you're in our Discord, I'm pretty sure you've seen the results, but we're going to pretend we don't know them. And we're going to watch the match. I'm going to eat a little bit of cheese before we do. Going to start with this, what's this, a Jersey Ash Brie or something? Sloppy it is. Very tasty. Alright. So, let's get into it. I mean, mirror, very close to a mirror. Probably comes down a fair bit to who's on the play. We did have... I have to look it up. We did have in the top 8, the highest seed is on the play. So I'm just pulling up the bracket now. So Mark Wallbang, so Rotars in the chat, would have been on the play for game 1, which does make a big difference. It gives you the opportunity to have the play on game 1 and game 3 if it comes to it. So yeah, that could honestly make the difference in this matchup. The removal suite's not going to make a huge difference, and I don't see a huge difference in the sideboard. It's going to be who's on the play, who draws the best, and can you find an edge in your play skill? Which, if I'm the player, no, you can't. Okay, let's get into this. What? I have a small human. What are you doing? Yeah, hilarious. Are you meant to be in bed? You meant to be in bed?
Yes.
Yeah? What are you doing then? Right, say goodbye.
Hi.
Go over there. Bye. Goodness me. Alright, let's get into it. I've completely forgotten about my cup of tea. It's over here going cold. Insanity versus Mark Wallbang. Doesn't everybody love a mono white mirror? Cracker's just like super excited at the moment. He doesn't know why. Okay, so we're watching Insanity's point of view. We have 3 1-drops into Brutal Cathars, 2 lands. I think this is a snap keep from a mono white player. Recruitment Officer finds you more creatures. Dauntless Bodyguard protects you. So I imagine you're probably playing the Hopeful Initiate first. Remember when a single white 2-1 was a rare Savannah Lions? Now we have a mouse, a common mouse that is a 2-1. Coppercoat Vanguard is nice, but yeah, I think we trade that off here. I imagine, I've literally never played mono white. Played against it a few times, but I would imagine that the mirror plays out similar to a mono red mirror, where you're happy to just make a bunch of trades and just try and make your opponent run out of creatures. So Brutal Cathar can deal with Adeline, but that Coppercoat Vanguard is a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm inclined to trade this off. Having a good think about Insanity. Yeah, I think I would trade off. We've got no untapped mana from Rotors, or Mr. Mark Wallbang. There we go. 3rd land off the top, just the way we drew it up. Now we can deal with that. Adeline, perfect. Similar numbers of cards in hands, but of course we've got the old reverse Brutal Cathar. And now we're off to the races. So we're trading Brutal Cathars. Insanity does win that in the having the fancy art version of the Brutal Cathar. Don't mind me, I'm just going to eat a chocolate bullet. Brutal Cathar, take your Brutal Cathar. Get back my Brutal Cathar. Take your Adeline. Seems pretty good. Just chain them together. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing, back the other way. Insanity's probably going to untap, play Ossification. Do the same thing, take the Brutal Cathar. Get back my Brutal Cathar, take your Adeline. Thaler's Lieutenant, put 2 counters. Seems pretty good. 2 cards in hand each. Why is this Brutal Cathar in what looks like the exile zone that you can cast it? What have I missed? What's it exiled from there? Oh, it's from the Soul Partition. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I got there before looking at chat. Yeah. I was like, there's no ossification. I remembered that, yeah, Rodars has the Soul Partition, which exiles it, you can cast it, but it costs 2 more, so, yeah. That, it's called, here we go. This one here. Pompeii Washed Rind. It's very nice. Highly recommend. Look them up. Woodside Cheese Rights. Fortunately, Insanity's drawn a bunch of lands here, and that Adeline on the other side of the field has been able to make a nice wide board. But the extra lands does mean we can cast Brutal Cathar from exile. 3 cards in hand, though, from Rotors, or Mark Wallbang. Oh, Thalos Lieutenant on all those humans is nice. We've got 1 blocker, which we really don't want to block with. That's going to give back that Adeline. So do we take 8? If we take 8 here, we've got enough. Like, we've got lethal on board. We can Adeline, we can fire up the Mutavault. So if we fire up the Mutavault here, we've got lethal. We have lethal, 2, 3. Yeah, you'd have a 9 coming through. Can only block 2 of them. It's 2/2. You get the 1/1 from Adeline. It's doing the math. Insanity's doing the math. Insanity is a very good player. Certainly much better than me. Right, this Buffalo Brie. If you've never had Buffalo Brie, plus the Thales Lieutenant gets pumped. Buffalo cheese. Very nice. Never had it before. Really creamy. Exactsies. Okay. That was an interesting game. Just that back and forth. Brutal Cathar, and yeah, looking at those lists, Insanity has the 4 Brutal Cathars in the main. Rotors, only the 3. Rotors only the 2 Soul Partitions in the main, whereas Insanity has the 4 Ossification, which is definitely good in this matchup. Didn't look like many changes. Insanity's just super, super good. Like, he's just consistently up in Mythic. I mean, I assume he just plays a lot. But very, very good. I remember watching him playing on the ASL streams, and yeah, definitely impressive. Now I didn't go to the extra effort of cutting out the waiting for the sideboarding, so unfortunately I have to sit there and wait. But that's what this is for. Look at that. Just like magic. Just a plate of off-white and brown. He's a nerd, yeah. So, Rhoda's had the play game 1, being the highest seed. Gets to play game 2. Rough on the lands there, and a mulligan to 6. But this deck is chock full of 1-drops, so can survive a little while, but you really need to hit that second land. Ooh. So second land there going 1-drop, 1-drop, and then untapping, playing Thales Lieutenant, and having Brave, like playing another land, playing Brave the Elements. Sorry, playing Thales Lieutenant plus Brave the Elements. Or Adeline would have just been gas, but unfortunately we've lost. We've missed a land drop. 22 lands in this deck as well. It's not. We're not playing mono red with 19 lands. We're not playing modern decks with 17. So Rhoda's able to get the first Adeline out, and that's a lot of value just going to be generated over and over every turn. No answers in Insanity's hand, even if you had the mana. Insanity is a fan of the quick concession from our previous streams, so... Oh, and a Brutal Gathar to back it up. Take out your blocker. Yeah, don't take... I was going to say, could have taken the Dauntless Bodyguard, maybe try and tempt them into sacking it, so then they get nothing back. There's their land, but... it may be a bit too late. So Joffrey Beebe, you're selling out of Battle Spirits. What's the go? Lost the love. Now Rhoda's just piling on the threats. Neither deck has any form of board wipe. It's just single target removal. Both decks playing some number of Brave the Elements, so we've got protections as well. Just kind of develop your board and then sit back and keep them alive. Definitely getting into this cheese. It is. It's just good. Look at that. It's just good. He's getting very conservative on the attacking here. Maybe has another Adeline in hand, because we could double block here if we just see the Adeline. No, okay. Push through some damage. We're going to get another human. Makes Adeline a 6/4. Let's take out a 1/1. Down to 5. Oh, and a wedding announcement just to grind it out. Yep, so attack with enough creatures. Draw a card. Alright, there's our land, but I think we're too little too late. We can play an Adeline here. We could double up our Thales Lieutenant and keep up Brave the Elements, but I don't think... choosing to get the counters on the Thalia's lieutenants and have some protection. So I guess we can do a bunch of blocking, sack the Dauntless Bodyguard potentially. And that's going to bring up the concession. Yeah, unfortunately, Brave the Elements. All your white creatures get protection from your opponent's entire deck, pretty much, except for Mutavault. And yeah, no changes for Insanity. So not much in the way of sideboarding. Rhoda's obviously thinking about a little bit more. Unfortunately, don't have both views. So I can do the full Magic Beans final stream setup where we can look at both players and drop down the views and all that sort of stuff, but pretty good to have it. And recorded matches as well just means we're not dealing with stream issues. So better start for Insanity on the play this time. Ossification takes out the Hopeful Initiate. We got plenty of land. A Ganjo for some removal. We don't have the second white source unless we play the Ganjo for the Adeline. And double Adeline in hand is not ideal. Just a naked Thalia's Lieutenant. Yep. Play the Ganjo, get that Adeline out there. Generate some value. Sheffert Dunes. I didn't even see that in the deck list. Take out the Adeline. We do have another Adeline in hand though. So we can drop that. Oh, another Plains is nice. Yeah, we're still playing Adeline. Keep up white, pretend that we have a Brave the Elements. What do we got from Rotors? More removal. Take out the second Adeline. Yep, Brutal Cathar, okay. Take out Adeline, get in for... How does the Hopeful Initiate work? Isn't it the one with like training or something? I would look it up, but you know, I'm busy. So we can go land, ossification, take out the Brutal Cathar, get back our Adeline. Yeah, pile up on the same planes. There's no... We know it is open deck lists, so we know there is no Field of Ruins effects. You can even fire up that Mutavault. No real good attacks, though. And Rodas has found an Adeline of their own. Oh, and the second Thalia's Lieutenant. That's going to stack up real quick. Big 6/6 Thalia's Lieutenant. He's hard to deal with. You just chump with a 1/1. Mutavault can block the 1/1. Chump the 6/6 with your 1/1. That's 7/7. Sorry. Forget that Adeline making human tokens also triggers Thalia's Lieutenants. So gross. But yeah, this board is looking pretty nice for Rotors. Insanity, heads up play, animate your own Mutavaults. Animate Mutavaults, then play a Thalia's Lieutenant. No, second guessing. can, if you don't want to attack with them, you can pay the mana themselves. Yep, like that. So just getting in a few extra counters on the Mutavaults. Sitting on 18 life, not too bad of a spot here. We're going to get a token, but that is a big board on the other side. Adeline having Vigilance is a bit stupid. Adeline v Adeline. No cards in either player's hands. We're both just playing off the top. Both have developed quite good boards. Yeah, I'm inclined to probably chump with the Hopeful Initiate here. I guess maybe the Initiate can get bigger if you don't find creatures play, but if you keep your Adeline, you're pumping out tokens every turn, so you're growing your Thalia's Lieutenants. Tough decision. Trying to block enough to not die and still be able to potentially get there on the crackback. There's no good ways to deal with that Adeline without losing a bunch of your board. Or losing your own Adeline. You really don't want to do. Down to 6. What do we got off the top? We can fire up a Mutavault. Yeah, Tech 1200. This was from the Explorer League. So we ran our league recently, and this is the semi-finals. Insanity versus Rotors, or Mark Wallbang. Semi-final number 1. No, not live. This was actually played a couple of weeks ago. I've been on holidays and just got back, and yeah, running through the coverage. Very tough decision. Ooh, okay. I forgot that text was on the Hopeful Initiate. Destroy an enchantment, get back your Brutal Cathar, take the Adeline. Can we force through enough though? I don't think we can force through enough this turn. I think we just sit back and block. We've got mana for our Mutavault. Oh, yeah, attack with our Adeline, because it's free. Yeah, very, 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 very tough decision here. Alright, so yeah, that's you're certainly using the clock up, but you've got it there for a reason. You gotta remember you don't have to feel the pressure of the timer counting down. 5 versus 6, 1 card in hand for Rotors. Ooh, Portable Hole is a good draw. Doesn't deal with Adeline or the Brutal Cathar. Can deal with the Hopeful Initiate or Athalia's Lieutenant. Or an Ossification. I think there's an Ossification hiding under there, just down here, maybe. Yep, there it is, Ossification with an Adeline under it, so we can take that out, get our Adeline back. grows our Thaler's Lieutenant, but still, the board is just not big enough. We can fire up both Mutavaults if we wanted, but there's 3 blockers on the other side of the field, so we end up with 4 attackers. 6 attackers. Because you got the 2 Mutavaults, you get the token from... G'day, Plunks. Yeah, Autolycus. So we can get a counter on the initiate next turn, remove the counter, the 2 counters, blow up the portable hole, get the ossification back, take out something. How does training work? Do you get that in combat? I gotta do some Googling. Scryfall. Luckily everyone's using their timers at the moment. Oops, sorry for the mic knock. Whenever this creature attacks another creature power, put a +++ counter on it, and then you can pay 3, remove it. So you can do it in combat. So you attack, you get the counter. So before blockers, you can remove the counter, remove the 2 counters, blow up the portable hole, get the ossification back, take out Adeline again. You should be able to, through all of that, push through enough damage to deal 5. Can take counters from anything? Remove 2. Oh, remove 2 ++ counters from among creatures you control. It's not even from the initiate. Did not even realise that. Wow. Shows how much Mono White I've played. 0. Okay. Well, that makes it even easier. Come on, mate. Been on holidays for 6 weeks. Need to eat a donut. Look, I was too busy doing this. I mean, this is where all my effort goes. Making dumb things for the stream, like this. Alright, so we're attacking first. Not sure... There was an oops there from Roders. Maybe wanted to do some stuff pre-declaring attackers. Or we just have a tapped Mutavault for some reason. Did we just accidentally... No, I didn't animate it. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Roders is in the chat. Maybe we can get an answer on that. Alright, so we've gone with that play. We've removed 2 counters from the Hopeful Initiate. We're exiling a Mutavault. Okay. Oh, and we've got to Brave the Elements. Oh. Surely the ossification should have removed... Oh no, yeah. Remove the Mutavault because... Yep. Because the Mutavault is colourless. And we get there. Roders, Mark Wallbang. Goodness me. Mono white mirrors. I mean, the mono white deck was going to win, of course, but... Yeah, well done. Alright, so quick look at Mark Wallbang's deck list again. So, 2 Luminarch Aspirants and 2 Soul Petition was the big difference versus Insanity's deck, but I feel like Insanity's deck with the 4 main deck ossifications was probably better for the mirror and the 4 Brutal Cathars, but we didn't see Luminarch Aspirants, and I think we only saw 1 Soul Petition in the match. It just, yeah, comes down to who can draw the best and keep that value train going that Mono White does with Adeline, just pumping out tokens with a couple of Thaler's Lieutenants on the field. G'day, Tys. Henlo? I don't know what that means, but hello. Sure it was a typo. It was probably your cat on your keyboard again. Okay, semi-final 1 down. we are eating a snack plate. We've got a donut. We've got some buffalo cheese. We've got some white chocolate. We've got a Pompeii washed rind cheddar that is really nice. Some this is a brie with ash in it. I can't remember what it's called. This is a mature cheddar that's really nice. Some raspberry chocolate salty balls, not salty, and some bullets and some good old dairy milk. So I don't know what Doge even is. Ties, I don't even know if that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Like a gameplay, it is. Well, I have to like separate the cheese so I can remember which cheese is which. All right, so before we get into the next match, this is what our players are playing for. Not that. Playing for this one here. They've already been paid because this has already been played. So this is what they played for. About $500 there in prizes, and of course some invitational points, which Mr. J-Mud has been updating the ladder. You can go on the Discord and check that out. And of course the winner of today, possibly Rotors, Mark Warbang, if you don't know the results, but into the finals now, could be taking that all-important slot, the direct invitation to the Envy, which will be coming up in a couple of months. So, yeah, that's always good fun. And then Chewy and Cracker have announced our next league. They're organising it. I don't know any of the details yet. We're sticking mostly to the same structure, from what I understand. So, join the Discord and get in on it if you're not already, because there is a chance to win that league and get straight into the Envy. So, it'll be group stage, round robin, played over probably 5 weeks. 10 players through to stage 2 from each group. 6 rounds of Swiss for stage 2. We may actually cut that to 5. I think 5 is probably enough. We'll see. And top 8 progresses through to stage 3, which is what we're watching now, the single elimination finals. Ties from the chat, and Plunksy, who was there a bit earlier, did some commentary of the quarterfinal matches. They are up on YouTube, so you can go and find those. And yeah, now we're into the semi-finals. We've got semi-final 1, we've got semi-final 2 coming up in just a minute. And then we will watch the grand final. So if you're not already in our Discord and you don't know what we're talking about and you want to get in on this, that's where you go. Next league kicks off. You were going to do the rest. I'm sure you were at some point, Tyes. I do appreciate your hard work. You get paid just as much as the rest of us do. The next league will kick off at some point after the Eldraine release, which I think releases in, like 2 weeks or something? We normally start at like 1 to 2 weeks after the set releases, so yeah, like I said, I've been on holidays for 6 weeks. I've had barely any internet for most of that time, and Cracker and Chewy have been holding down the fort, doing the organising stuff in the background, so yeah, I haven't even spoken to them since being back, so I don't know when things are finalised for, but should be a podcast. I think there's a podcast this week, actually. I have to get in on that, figure out what we're talking about. Maybe step back into my hosting duties. Cracker might actually take a week off for a change. It'd be good. And yeah, we'll post up some sort of registration set up for the Eldraine League. And then once that's done and dusted, it's onto the Envy. So I would assume the Eldraine League will be wrapped up by the end of October, and then we'll be looking at running the Envy sort of second half of November. I think there's a set release somewhere around there. We're sort of hoping to do the Envy just after a set release to keep it nice and fresh again. So back to standard, from what I understand, with for this league. Explorer was good, did enjoy it, but standards, it's got a whole new set coming out. Should be interesting. Potentially some bans, who knows. So yeah, it should be good. All right. It's all good, Trophy Babe. Selling off BSS. Yep. Push more magic cards to play together. Yep. Okay. They're both going to have the week off. Going to have to wake up. Well, Stu's in Queensland at the moment, so that's highly unlikely. Maybe it's a solo podcast. Who knows? Who knows? We'll figure it out probably at about 8:30 on a Thursday, right before we're due to start recording. Okay, enough of me waffling on. Let's have a look at our second match. So we've got Dark Harness on Enigmatic Fires, a deck that I have played, versus Aragoth on Mono Green that everybody hates. So let's have a look at Dark Harness's list. Enigmatic Fires. So we're playing Karuga in the sideboard, which means we've got as the companion, which means we've got nothing with mana value 3 or less. We do get to cheat that with Bone Crusher Giant, one of my favourite cards, and I can't believe this card is worth, I don't know if you can see, it's under the chat there, but the price on Bone Crusher is 79 cents. I love this card, it's awesome, but there is like 15 printings of it, and it was put in a like a starter deck or something like that as well, so... Ties. Well, I mean, if the other two do pull the pin this week, then yeah, maybe you and I can do a podcast together. No worries, mate. Have a good one. I will let you know if we need you for Thursday. But yeah, we are... This deck is trying to either have a Fires of Invention in play and just play stuff for free, which is what I've been doing in Explorer and having a ton of fun if you watch my streams before I went on holidays. Absolutely loving it. But it's also doing the Enigmatic Incarnation version. So Touch the Spirit Realms, Temporary Lockdowns, Fables, cheaper enchantments that you can sacrifice and turn into either Heliod or Omnath. And then you can then sack them to turn them into bigger creatures. Cavaliers, Elish Norns, Kenriths, Tolsimir. Yeah. And you can sack your... No, sorry, you can't sack your... Well, you can sack a Heliod, sorry, to turn it into one of those. But you can sack your Leyline Bindings, which you do not pay 6 mana for. You are playing a whole bunch of colours to go and get Agents of Treachery and Atraxa. So I played this version of the deck a few times on stream, and I really did not enjoy it. I found it a bit clunky. I found you just often had... You know, you'd have an Enigmatic Incarnation on the field, you wouldn't have stuff to sack, but you'd have the things that you want to go and get in your hand, and you just kind of get stuck. Or you'd have a Fires on the field, but then nothing good in your hand, and it just kind of, yeah, just felt clunky to me. I didn't enjoy it, and went back to the other version that I was playing, the just the straight Fires, playing like 4 Omnaths and Kenriths and Red Cavaliers and all that sort of stuff. Found that much more enjoyable. Sideboard, some Brazen Borrowers, because that gets around our Karuga problem. Coma is just an absolute bomb. 3 ley lines. This deck, well, yeah, when I played it, really struggled with Greasefang. That was horrible, absolutely horrible. Counters, board wipes, small lockdowns, and Thought Distortion. Pretty good to ruin your opponent's day. Playing against Aragoth. Aragoth's just playing mono green. Khan the Great Creator. Go and get some stuff from the sideboard. But we do have a little bit of spice here that I haven't seen in the mono green list. Maybe this has become standard. A tribute to the World Tree. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2+++ on counters on it. Yep. Seems pretty good. You got a whole bunch of creatures that are power 3 or greater. And it's 3 green devotion for our good mate Nixos. So yeah, good addition. And Shifting Ceratop's actually quite nice. I've played this in quite a few sideboards. Can't be counted. Pro blue. And then you can give it Reach, Trample, or Haste for a single green mana. So quite nice. I think Thought Distortion in this is really sus. Okay. But yeah, if you've never seen this deck go off, it is bonkers. When you have those turns where it's like Storm the Festival, put another Nixos into play, and, you know, a Cavalier or whatever, play like flashback your Storm the like you can just go off, and then it also has this one doesn't. Oh no, we do have Pestilent Cauldron. What's the other part of the thing? The combo. Isn't it meant to be like Chain Veil or something? I don't know. Maybe there's a different way to do it. Aether Flux Reservoir? Wow, that is a strange sideboard card. But yeah, just a bunch of one-offs. Transmogrifying Wand, yeah, definitely a good target. So yeah, this is a really interesting sideboard. This is a whole bunch of stuff that I've never seen in here before. Very cool. Alright, so that's Aragoth and Dark Arnis, and we will get into that match in just a second. I'm going to have another bite of my donut. And we'll get into it. Alright, so we are watching Dark Harness's view, Karuga Fires. Love to see it. Versus Aragoth on the top. That is a lot of land, but in this deck, that's not a bad thing. Especially with a bunch of triumphs that you can cycle. Drawing more land, not ideal. But we do have the potential to hit 3 mana on turn 3 to play Touch the Spirit Realm. 4 mana, yeah, we can go 4 untapped mana on turn 4 to play the Fires. Yeah, Aetherflux Resort, that is a really strange sideboard card in that deck. I don't know, maybe it's just a way to gain a bunch of life. Like, you're never gonna, I don't think you're ever gonna, like, combo off with it. Now, Touch the Spirit Realm can be channeled. From memory, I can't remember what it does, though. Channel 1 and a white, discard it, exile target artifact or creature, return to battlefield outside its control at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so we're bouncing, blinking, old growth troll. Seems odd. Especially with Kiora? Because that's a really weird play. That was, yeah, I'm not too sure what was going on there with Dark Arnis. I think you're much better off keeping that Touch the Spirit Realm to just exile the old growth troll. We're already casting Storm the Festival off of a Nixos. We've got Kiora to blink it. Yeah, that Touch the Spirit Realm just brought back the old growth troll and just drew Aragoth a card. Very strange. Maybe there's a line there that I don't know. Green Invasion as well. I didn't actually see that in the list. Invasion of Ixalan. We are just untapping Nixoses, and we've just played, like, I don't know, 20 mana of stuff in this turn. Still got 4 mana untapped. What are we getting from the sideboard? We don't have the other view from Aragoth. We don't have that side of the recording. Just gonna stuff my face with a donut. Aragoth's having a good think. I think we have the game sound on this game, so just let me know if it is coming through too loud. Get a Shadow Spear. We've got the mana to equip it to our old growth troll. Attack that invasion. Flip it straight away. Gain 5 life. What is the other side of it? A 4/3, a Trampler. Draw another card from Kiora. Goodness me, this green deck. And we've just got so many lands in our hand. So we can play land and fires and do Stone Cold nothing. So we are not in a good position here with Dark Arnis. Hey, SG. Thanks, mate. Glad to be back. Well, glad to be back on the stream. Was not glad to come back to the 5 million emails that I had today for work. Did not work at all over my holiday. Put my phone on focus mode, so I didn't even see how many emails I had, which was fantastic. Good to actually have a break and switch off, which is very hard to do in my line of work. But this is very, very much slipping away from Darkanis here. Ghoul's red, yeah. Yeah, I had about 1,000 emails to go through this morning, which was less than I thought. I was tipping 1,500, so 1,000's not bad. It still takes a long time. So I went through about 1,000 emails, and then I spent just 4 hours, I think, just on the phone, just talking. Did not leave this chair. Now we're just playing extra cons because we can. Go and get another artifact. Yeah, I don't know if popular is the word. So, from Darkanis' list, he has no... There's no board wipes in the main. Temporary lockdowns don't help. And we've got some Supreme Verdicts in the sideboard. So, Stonebrain's probably going to exile... What are we going to name here? Yeah, get rid of the Enigmatics. Doesn't really matter. Is open deck lists for this game, so Aragoth is able to pull up the deck list and go, alright, what's the big problem? Shifting Ceratops, we've still got spare mana, we draw more cards, we can pay green, give it haste. We don't have lethal. But there's literally nothing that Darkanis can do here. We're just playing it out for the stream, I think. Or for the recording. Right, I'm gonna eat some more cheese. Can't sit here with... Look at this Azzy G. Snack plate cam, pop in. Just all about it. Alright, so we're probably siding in some Supreme Verdicts. I guess you could Thought Distortion. Let me read the text on Thought Distortion again. Target opponent reveals their hand, exile all non-creature, non-land cards. Okay, probably not. Having a look at the board to see what we think. Yeah, there's too many creatures in this deck. Something Joffrey put in the suggestion box. Joffrey Bieber is all about the snack plate. No, I was tinkering today, getting set up for the stream, and I was like, yeah, what can I add? I thought, so what I'm like behind the scenes. Here you go, behind the scenes view. We are watching videos, pre-recorded videos. The way I set it up quickly is if I change the scene from this scene, this video will restart. Which means if, you know, we're in a situation where there's nothing happening on stream and I'm just padding and filling time and I want to bring up the snack plate, I can't just use my usual change my scene to my overhead camera. It's like, how do I fix that problem? Well, you just put in a pop in where you tap a button and it pops in like this and you get your snack plate. Like, little toggle button on the touch portal. Just like that. Magic. Couple of settings in OBS. Change how the... when this gets toggled, you set it so that it's a move transition and it moves from the right. And then when you turn it off, you toggle it off, it moves to the left or moves to the right. Just like magic. I just don't like this matchup for Dark Harness. You are not quick. The thing I found with this version is you don't just win the game. The version that I was playing with the straight fires and the Cavaliers and Kenriths, you win the game. Like, you hit your fires, you untap, you play a land, and you just win the game. You play a Kenrith, you play a Cavalier, whatever, you give your dudes trample and haste and pumped, and you just win. Whereas this deck just doesn't do that. It's like, yep, I've jumped through a bunch of hoops, and then I've got an Atraxa, which is impressive, and I drew some cards, but then I still lose. So yeah, I mean, Atraxa can win the game. And g'day, Hemsy. Welcome to the stream too. Atraxa can win games, but you're not doing it quick. Like, you're doing it on if you're lucky, turn 4. Like, if you get an early Leyline Binding and you hit turn 4 Enigmatic, which, you know, we might see here. We could untap and draw a Mummy just wins games too. As it Hellish Dawn. So you go turn 4 Atraxa. Like, yep, fantastic. Then the green deck just untaps and plays 30 mana of spells, and it develops this enormous board, and then you just lose. But Dark Harness managed to keep the board clearish. Tribute to the World Tree is a lot of devotion, and there's a Nixos as well, so we can untap. We've got, what do we got there? 2, 3 forests. So we've got devotion is 4. What's that devotion? Oh, we've got the invasion. Yep. It's got 4, 5 mana. Play a land, we've got 6, so we can storm the festival. Still on 16, so yeah, like the Enigmatic deck is just not putting on the pressure. Yeah, so we go land, we can storm the festival. There we go. Oh, jeez, I'm good at Magic. Yeah, mastery of commentary. 2 creatures, draw 2 cards, refill the hand. A ton. We've got 10 devotion now, so we can just untap. We can flashback that Storm the Festival, and we're just off to the races. I mean, Leyline Binding, probably take out maybe Old Growth Troll. Tribute to the World Tree is definitely fueling card draw. Old Growth Troll just keeps coming back. We do have Supreme Verdict in hand as well, so you got to be conscious of that with Old Growth Troll. I mean, you got to attack first. You have to. Like, that's what you do. Trying to work out whether he wants to fire off the Supreme Verdict now or save it for another turn. I think... Ooh, okay. I think I would be firing that Supreme Verdict off, because that just kills the Devotion. Devotion drops down to 1. Actually, no, the Old Growth Troll still counts. More Old Growths. Play another Nixos. Devotion's back up to 10. We've still got 4 in the pool. Infinite mana. We can storm the festival again. Create more devotion. Create more devotion. It's basically free. Storm the festival. Surprise, surprise, red and green. What do we hit? Another Nixos. No. We hit... Did we just hit a basic forest and an elvish mystic? Make a wolf. Yeah, old growth troll is a problem. Because it's still, when it comes back attached to land, you still get the devotion from it. And just a bunch of lands in hand. And Beseiju can deal with the old growth troll. Because it is... Does it count as an enchantment? I think it does. Let me just check. Oh, I hit the mic again. Yeah, it's an aura enchantment with enchant forest you control. So we can Beseiju the old growth. Yep, there we go. No, okay, we can Beseiju the Nixos. And of course, Salt Seas Bug, we blow up the Nixos and we get another one. May have already had one in hand. I mean, we can play and transform Heliod. Like, just because we can cycle a bunch of lands. What does this Heliod do again? Heliod, the Radiant Dawn. When it's a battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. Don't even know if we've got anything in the yard. And you can transform it, and the other side is a 4/6. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Doesn't help you with the fires. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. Also does not help with fire. So without a Enigmatic Incarnation, Heliod is just kind of not good. And now we've got both old growth trolls back. Gonna hit that invasion, flip it. Dark Harness just needs to draw something. But again, it's like, I don't even know what we can draw here. Like, we can draw the second Supreme Verdict. Yep, awesome. That stems the bleeding a little bit. Just so many lands, goodness me. How many lands are we playing? 27 lands. I mean, we could draw a Kenrith, play a Kenrith, just start gaining life, reanimate some stuff, maybe. So we're Beseijuing our own... What did we just Beseiju? Is that a binding in the graveyard? Beseiju a binding. Go and get a land. What was the benefit of that? Was that a... should have been done before playing the Heliod so you can get your binding back? Yeah, well, Kiora is now online, untapping creatures or Nixoses. Yep, bin those 2 lands. No, okay. Keeping one of them. Oh my goodness. Just feels rough. Alright, we got an enigmatic incarnation. Alright, we can do it. We can do it. We can get an agent of treachery. Blow up Kiora. We're just like, look at all these green cards just drawing you cards. This one draws me cards. Oh, this one also draws me cards. Look at that. Amazing. You've got no good options. One of them gives you a bunch of devotion. The other one untaps your Nixos. Alright, we're doing it. We're gonna... What are we gonna do? We're gonna sack a binding, get an Atraxa. Yep, give you back a Elvish Mystic. Alright, we got an Atraxa. Ooh, here we go. We can draw 3 cards. So take a Kenrith. Another Enigmatic. I guess you don't want more fires. Kenrith? Yeah. I guess your Enigmatic can sack other Enigmatic, but you kind of run out of things to go and get. Because we've already got Heliod in the graveyard. There's not much else. Ooh, okay. What? What was that? I'm shocked. Why did we concede that? I mean, surely we're gonna... Yeah, but you've got ways to find answers to deal with the Atraxa. Atraxa's not that bad. And if it's 2-turn clock, just play out the 2 turns. Like, so Aragoth has... let me just have a look at the list. In the sideboard... why is that working? You've got Cityscape Leveler, destroys permanents, and Transmogrifying Wand deals with a thingo. Portal to Phyrexia? Nah, they got enough creatures to sack. That was odd to me. Yeah. So if you go, okay, you get a 2-turn clock with that Atraxa. Cool. But you're also putting on a ton of pressure yourself. Like, basically had a 2-turn clock yourself on the field. Yes, they're gaining life from Atraxa, but... Exactly, Autolycus. If you scoop, you never get to draw that card and go, oh, I had a card on the top of my library. Alright, so we've got turn 3 Fable, turn 4 Enigmatic. I guess we go and get Heliod. So we go land. Discard a bunch of triumphs, draw a bunch of triumphs. So we play... I mean, we're already down to 9. Ugh. Gross. So if you shock in a breeding pool... we can use the treasure. So we don't have to shock in the land. We can get Omnath. So our two options are Omnath or Heliod. Omnath draws us a card. Ooh, Leyline Binding is nice. Wish we had the untapped land now, or the treasure. But Storm the Festival is going to find a bunch of stuff. That Pelucranos is bigger than our Omnath. We've just found Karn, Kiora, Old Growth Troll. Goodness me. Just the value. Yeah, it is just too slow, this deck, and like I was saying earlier, it doesn't have an I win button where it's like, oh boy, I'm in trouble, and you just top deck one card and oh, hang on, I'm bashing you for 40. Yep, Cityscape Leveler, blow up Omnath, can bash for 5, drawing more cards. Oops, what are we oopsing? So we can go Binding, end of turn, Incarnation, sack the Binding, get Atraxa. We don't want to Binding the Cityscape Leveler. No, Leveler is a problem. You could get Agent of Treachery. You can get Agent of Treachery and take the Cityscape Leveler. You can go... You could go Binding... You could get 2 here. So if the Binding was in play... Okay, alright, here we go, yeah. So play Elishnorn, play Binding. We had to take 2 things. So this... Can you stack these triggers right? I can never remember how Binding works properly. No, still going to get back both those cards. Oh no, we sacked... What did we sack? What did I miss there? Why have we still got that Binding on the field? I've totally missed something. Alright, well, Darkanus found a line. Yeah, it was not a line that I saw. Yeah, Beseiju is on the field. Let me just check. Aragoth does have 2 Besejus. Cavalier doesn't trigger. But Transmog deals with we spoke about it before the game started. Transmog deals with Elishnorn. And we've just got a handful of lands and a Leyline Binding that we can't sack. Yeah, I think what I missed it was I thought he sacked the Leyline Binding because we had the two triggers from Leyline Binding. I thought he sacked the Leyline Binding to the Enigmatic, but the Enigmatic he had both Enigmatic triggers sacked one to one and one to the other, so sacked both Enigmatics. I was too busy talking, I missed that, and yeah, went and got Elesh Norn and Tolsimir, two 5-mana creatures. Yeah, I was trying to remember if there was a way. I know like the old Oblivion Ring rules where you could, like if you had the exiling trigger on the stack, you could like blink your Oblivion Ring or bounce it or destroy it or whatever, and they would never get the permanent back. But I think they've fixed that. And the way it would have worked anyway was you had to resolve the Leyline Bindings before you could sacrifice the Enigmatic. Alright, so deciding to sack the Leyline Binding, so we're given back a Karn and the Cityscape. We can get an agent and steal that Cityscape, but there's still going to be that Cityscape. No, the Cityscape is a cast. Yeah, it's when you cast this spell and when it attacks. So I would definitely be getting an agent here and taking that Cityscape leveler. What did we take there? You just take a forest? What happened there? That must have been a misclick for sure. That had to be a misclick. Just took a forest. I don't know what happened there. Might have to hit up Darkanus and find out what happened, but it did look like he was going to click the Cavalier and then somehow had a forest come across. So that certainly has a big impact on the game. I would have been inclined to take that Cityscape leveler because then you can start attacking with it, and it's bigger than the Cavalier. So I don't know what the line of play was there, but yeah, maybe a bug, maybe a misclick, maybe thought he clicked Cavalier and then didn't and clicked over a forest. Not entirely sure, but that sees Aragoth, yeah. Whether it's fluke or bug or would have just had the game wrapped up anyway, I'm not sure. But Aragoth makes his way through to the finals. So we are almost there. Almost at finals time. We're going to get into that in just a minute. We will have a look at our players' deck lists again. Before we do, though, we have prizes. This is what our players already played for, because they have already finished this, so we are watching replays. We won't spoil it. Some of you do already know the results, but that's fine. This is what they played for, and this is what's going to be up for grabs in our next league, which should be kicking off in the next 2 or 3 weeks. About $500 in cash. I would assume, unless Pat's decided to, change his extremely giving ways, which he doesn't, I should be getting some Eldraine product. I would assume probably an Eldraine collector box, hopefully, which I will crack on stream in the next coming weeks, and I will give away to one lucky viewer. So that is thanks to these fine folks here, Josh and Pat's into Bazaar. You know the drill. Go to the link, shows up down the bottom, jpmtgbazaar.com.au. Check them out. Pat's doing a $5,000 giveaway at the moment. Just a bunch of product to celebrate having 5,000 followers, I think they're called on Facebook. So get in and get in on that, because that is pretty nuts. Yeah, absolute legend, Pat. I think there's actually a big birthday shindig for him coming up in the next month or so. Plenty of games in Melbourne, so yeah, come down to Melbourne, play some games, celebrate Pat's birthday. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's... you named that last match grand final. I don't know. I think I just downloaded them and had a look at them anyway. All good, plunks. appreciate your fine work while I've been away. But yeah, we will have a league kicking off. I don't know 100% the details. Like I said, I've been away for 6 weeks. I know that Chewy and Cracker mentioned on the podcast over the last few episodes that we're going to have this league coming up, which we will, Eldraine League, and it will be standard, I believe. But I don't have the registration links or details or any of that yet. I haven't spoken to the guys since I've got back. So, yeah, hopefully they'll get that up and running in the near future. And then we'll kick that off probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Should be the same structure as this. Group stage into some Swiss rounds and then into the top 8, which is what we're playing right now. We're all the way up to the grand final for that. Do I play Highlander? I have played Highlander a few times, maybe half a dozen times. I've played a couple of tournaments. I struggle with the format. It's just crazy power. I mean, it's just like playing Vintage Cube. It's crazy powerful, but Vintage Cube, you've got to like jump through the hoops of actually drafting your deck, and things don't always work out properly. But Highlander is like, no, this is constructed. It's like Commander on speed. It's, yeah, everything's crazy powerful. It is a cool format. I do like the idea of the points system. Like, you know, you can play whatever you want, but it costs points, and there's a downside to doing that. And then I believe they introduced recently a rule where if you have no power, it's either no power or it might be no reserve list cards, something like that. If you have none of a certain type of cards, you get an extra point, so you can actually play 8 points, which is kind of cool, which sort of incentivizes you to, it helps those people who don't have access to the super expensive old cards. And it's like, oh, I'll just not play those crazy expensive things, and then I get an extra point to spend on something else. Because there's plenty of stuff on the points list that is cheap, you know, commons and uncommons and just powerful stuff. So yeah, cool format. The people that play Highlander are really into Highlander, and they love playing it. So yeah, there is a Highlander event for Pat's birthday. Mazzy sounds like you're coming down for that, so that'll be cool. So yeah, get in on that. It'll be pretty sweet, and you'll have an absolute blast. Okay, enough of me waffling on. Let's have a look at the deck lists. So we just saw Aragoth. Find the right button. Mono green. I don't know if green's been updated, and Tribute to the World Tree is standard now, as well as the invasion of Ixalan and the Shifting Ceratops. That may be standard now, or this may be Spicy Aragoth Brew. The sideboard seems a bit crazy with Transmogrifying Wand, but we saw it do work in that last thing, and I really don't know what this Aetherflux Reservoir is for, but I guess we're gaining some life. And we're going up against Mark Wallbang. So we saw Mark Wallbang take out Insanities. This is Roders, who's been in the chat a bit tonight. Took out Insanity a bit earlier in the mono-white mirror. A little bit of difference between the two decks, but this deck's just solid. I mean, yeah, we're seeing mono-green, solid decks, been around for ages in Pioneer, since basically day dot, and mono-white, same thing. Humans, there's stacks of good ones. You play the small ones, you play the slightly bigger ones. The slightly bigger ones make your small ones better, and yeah, it goes well. Adeline is an absolute house, just spitting out tokens, and when you've got a Thales Lieutenant on the field, it just goes nuts. Brutal Cathar for removal, as well as being a human. And then Soul Partitions. Coppercoat Vanguard does heaps of work. It's a reasonably new addition. Giving your humans ward is pretty good, and then you Brave the Elements just to punch through that last bit of damage, which definitely will be something that comes up in this matchup, I would say, with mono green. It's very easy to just go, hey, I'm going to give all my dudes protection from green and just punch in for the last bits of damage. So, interesting match. You know, the green can definitely go over the top. I think from memory, mono white's meant to be favoured against mono green, but I can't remember, to be honest. Yeah, I did get it direct from the email Plunksy. It's all good. I found most of the links this morning. Yeah, I think it's meant to be favoured, but to be honest, I can't remember. I think it can just be pretty quick Green can have some quickish starts, but yeah, Brave the Elements is certainly a big help in punching through that damage. Alright, so let's get into the match. And I've still got quite a few snacks left on the snack plate. A little bit of one of each left. Still got some buffalo. Got some washed rind, Pompeii washed rind. Fantastic. A bit of this super oozy brie. Some mature cheddar. Chocolate bullets. Raspberry chocolate balls and some dairy milk. And some white chocolate. Just a little bit of everything left. Except for my donut. Okay. Enough waffling. Let's get into the final match. Grand final for our Explorer League. And whoever wins this gets the invite straight to the Invitational. You probably already know the results. But we'll watch it anyway. Here we go. Aragoth versus Rotors or Mark Wallbang. Watching it from Mark Wallbang or Rotors' point of view, 4 planes or 4 lands is not ideal. Not really where we want to be. Hopefully we don't draw any more, but we do have a very nice curve. Thalia can be a bit of a pain for mono green. But Rotors is ready to go. Got the land ready to play and everything. Just pass your turn and I'm good to go. Oh, found a Nykthos. There's the Nykthos. But Thalia may slow some things down for Aragoth. Three mana for a Wolfillo Haven is not ideal. Ooh. Just the slow roll of that land. I think we play Adeline here. Get a token. Play Adeline. Yeah, I'm playing Adeline here. It does look like a 1-land keep from Aragoth. Kept Forest, Elvish Mystic, Invasion, most likely. Found the land. Yeah, play Adeline, next turn, untap, play land, Thalia's Lieutenant, fire up your Mutavault. Would like to stop drawing lands. Soul Partition can deal with the Shifting Ceratops. Might not be a bad play. Just get that big beefy blocker out of the way. Also, excuse me, drop that all-important Devotion down as well. But look at this board. We're going to drop a Thalia's Lieutenant onto this next turn. And, like, that's likely just going to be game. Just too slow of a start from the green deck. Yeah, we got the good game already, and just like that, that was like less than 3 minutes for that game. Very quick. We'll probably bring in some ossifications or maybe some portable holes. Yep, portable hole and ossification coming in. You could play Redain, but probably don't want to. Yeah, Dauntless Bodyguard's not as good. Just cut a couple of things. A little bit of shaving. Yeah, I don't think we need all the portable holes. Human Frailty. What even is that? Is it a card that hates on humans? Sounds like it. Human frailty. Single black. Destroy target human. From Avison Restored. Wow. That's some serious hate. That is not a keepable hand. I mean, we've got 3 1-drops, but we've got Shepherd Dunes, who's just going to be paying life through the wazoo. Out the wazoo. Through the nose. Out the wazoo. I think that's how it goes. Oh, that is not much better. Double Thalia. Play the Mutavault. In case you want to attack, maybe? No. Dauntless Bodyguard off the top, that's nice. So we can go Dauntless Bodyguard, Mutavault, Thalia, Plains, Adeline, good curve. Just what we want, the way we drew it up. Double Adeline's not ideal. It's going to be a very quick match. Oh, they always have it. Just when you don't want them to have it, that's when they have it. Just see a Wolf Willow Haven just rotting in Aragoth's hand. Olgaroth Stroll is big though. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, next turn, swing in with the Adeline. Get the human. Trade, and then just play your other one. Alright, we found Nykthos. We've got a small amount of devotion. What can we add? 3. Can only add 4. We're not actually adding anything with our Nykthos at the moment. Brand the Elements is nice. We are paying our own Thalia tax, which is not ideal, but you know, that old nombo of Thalia plus a bunch of spells in your deck. Alright, so we're attempting a trade. No, Aragoth doesn't fall for it. Do we want to keep our Thalia? Are we braving the elements and giving pro green? Making a... What are we doing here? What was... just pumping the Adeline. Yeah, okay, yep, that makes sense. I was trying to figure out what the play was with the Brave the Elements, but no, just, yeah, activating Mutavaults and making your Adeline bigger. Yeah, I was busy concentrating on the spells in hand rather than actually looking at the sizing on the creatures. But yeah, we can go Brave the Elements and Pro Green. Khan's probably not going to be able to save us here. We've got no mana. We can get, you know, the sword, the shadow. It's not a sword. It's in the name, Shadow Spear. But we can't equip it, so that's no good. So we're just gonna, yeah, play land. Activate Mutavolts, play Brave the Elements, and just attack for lethal. Pithing Needle. Oh, okay, we can... No, we're gonna no one-tap mana. Unless it's hiding behind my camera there. Oh, there must have been. Or he played a land or something. Okay. Well played. Yeah, okay, nice. Saw the lethal on the field, on board. Double Brave the Elements, okay. So we can't name Mutavault. We can Brave. We attack. Adeline becomes a 4/4. 1, 2, 6. It's 8? Yeah, I think it's 8. Yeah, I think that's right, Autolocus. Yeah, it should be 8. So we get the token. Adeline becomes a 4/4. Fire off the Brave, why not? We've got 2 of them. Pro green. So we got a 1. And Rotors, Mark Wallbang is still sitting on 20. And we don't have a lot of devotion on the other side of the field. All cards in hand, but we're not in a position where we can just be, you know, storming off. And this cheese has gotten goopy. Look at this. Goopy cheese. So good, it's all stuck all over the plate. But yeah, we definitely have a lethal on board now. Just need one of those classic all green board wipes. Now, if all else fails, look in your sideboard. You might find a new answer in your sideboard. I will also have a look at Aragorn's sideboard. Eth Flux Reservoir is not going to help us. Cityscape Leveler, no. Chariot. I mean, we can't play... Yeah, we can play a Chariot. Oh, there we go. You found the Chariot. It gives us a bunch of blockers. Play Kiora, untap. Oh, okay. We had just enough devotion. It's still not enough. We're going to get an extra token off of Adeline when we attack. Not enough. Aragot's just trying to find a way, trying to think of something. And yeah, it's just a bunch of green creatures. It doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter what we do. Yeah, it needs to be able to block 5 creatures. We've got a portable hold anyway. Takes out a token. It just doesn't matter. Like, the Brave was enough anyway. Got all green creatures on the other side. Alright, Rotors just thinking through the lines. Take out the... Ooh, here we go. Take out the Pithing Needle. We can fire up those Mutavolts. If we wanted. I'm just going to show you how many ways I could have killed you. I'm going to Brave the Elements. just to rub it in. And that's it. Just like that. Rotors, Mark Wallbang, Explorer League champion. Could have, you know, done all the stuff where I bring up the winner and all that sort of thing, except I don't have all that on this computer. It's on a different one. But yeah, that was That was rough for the green, just not quick enough. Not quick enough to put to deal with the pressure. And yeah, mono white just having the answers. I mean, it has shown before that it is a very good deck. Has been a very good deck in Pioneer for quite a while, and will continue to be a good deck. It just keeps getting more and more good cards, more and more humans, and Wizards just keeps tacking value onto their creatures infinitely. That's what they do. So yeah, well done, Rotas. Mark Wallbang, Explorer League champion. You have the qualification direct to the Envy, as I'm sure most of the people in chat were already aware of, as it was recorded, I think, like 4 weeks ago. It's a little bit of old news now. So anyway, I will be putting this video up on YouTube so that people can watch the final again if they missed the stream tonight. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to end the stream early tonight. I've had a massive day of sitting in front of the computer going through a million emails. It's been a lot of fun coming back to work, but thank you for hanging out. We will be kicking off the next league in the very near future. Similar structure to this. Eldraine League should kick off in the next couple of weeks with this in prizes. You know the drill. Go and check out these guys. jpmtgbazaar.com.au. They give us the prizes. They give us the cash to give away to you guys, and things like collector boosters, which I'll probably be clacking. I'll probably be cracking an Eldraine collector booster box over the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that, and I will give that entire box away to one lucky viewer. So keep an eye out for that. Go to jpmtgbazaar.com.au, check them out, and tell Pat that they've been sent to you so he will continue supporting us. And yeah, if you want to support us in any other ways, you can follow. Need to fix that. It's cutting off hamburger on the bottom there. You can sub. Subbing is a good way to give a little bit of money back to us that literally just goes back into the prize pool. Or you can donate like these fine folks up here. Same thing. Every cent that we get just goes straight back into the prize pool. It's either prize pool or like paying for postage. That's for prizes that we send out. That's basically it. So yeah, thanks for your support. And plugs. So is that official? Do we actually have an organised one-day sealed event? I've just been out of loop. I have not. Like, all of my Discord stuff was like mark it all as red because there was too much stuff that I couldn't keep track of. So I don't even know what's going on, and I haven't talked to the other boys. But yeah, that's going to do me for tonight. Should be podcast this week, I believe. I think it is the Thursday for podcasts. Let me check my calendar. It is Thursday for podcasts. Cool. We'll be doing that this week. I will be back. I'm assuming I'll be back in my hosting duties. Maybe. Cracker may be keeping the job permanently. Who knows? Or he may just not be there because he wants a week off. Either way, keep an eye out for some sort of content, and then I'll be back next Monday with another stream. Probably jumping into Standard. Maybe. I don't know when Eldraine actually releases. I might do a draft. I don't know. We'll do something next Monday. I could be cracking a box and giving it away. Who knows? Thanks for hanging out, and congrats to Rotas, and we will see you all next time. Bye.